Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. Back here where we need ya. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
FightSaga.com presents War a Week radio chats with boxing scribe Joseph Heron and former prizefighter Young Billionaire.
Guys, welcome to a very special impromptu version of War Week Radio Chats. And just as a special treat, guys, guess who I was able to convince to come live on the air with me this wonderful Wednesday night, or if you're on the East Coast, it's now Thursday morning. Guys, it's a pleasure to introduce, one of the most knowledgeable gentlemen in the entire business. And you know him as 5-decade fight trainer, Mr. James Gogue. How you doing, James?
Hey, Joe. Yeah, we were, what happens, we were having technical difficulties on our show Sunday night where we had a good, turnout. So I told you I would come on during the weekdays if we have anybody here interested in, asking questions and everything. But, yeah, hopefully, we don't have no technical difficulties tonight, so the show goes smooth.
I tell you what, Coach, it's always a treat to converse with you, brother. So, guys, if you have any questions, please let them fly. Guys, I want to give a shout-out to my brother, EJ. How you doing, my friend? It's good of you to join us at this hour, my friend. And guys, always thank you, Mr. John McSmith. And yes, it is indeed a sweet amber evening. It's 11 o'clock where I am. Also want to give a shout out to our brother, Anthony Manzano. Thank you for joining us, sir. And salute to the world-renowned coach, James Gogue. Salute indeed, my friend. Also want to give a shout out to our brother, Jesus M. Saludos, coach. Salutes to you, my friend. I tell you what, guys, first on the agenda, what we're going to be talking about. And once again, guys, if you have any questions for the coach, now's the best chance. It's always easiest at 11 p.m. our time to get your question read. Yes, sir, James.
Man, are we going to talk about Joshua? Well, that fight's in a few weeks, isn't it? Joshua Usyk.
It's now in 1 month, sir.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Everybody's talking about, I like hearing all these opinions, man. I laugh at 99% of them. But anyway, what Joshua's got to do to win, he's got to do that. He's got to wear, he's got to do this. He's got to do that. He's got to wear pink, leotards. And he's got to, and he's got to do this.
Coach,
he's got to blow him a kiss before he throws a punch. I heard all that shit.
Okay? Coach, well, I'll tell you what. If you can just wait a second, I can pull up. Now, I wrote an article a long time ago when you first stated this after their first fight. And you came on an episode of Sunday Night War Week Radio. And you actually broke down all of the keys, all 7 keys to victory on things that he needed to improve upon in order to be successful against Oleksandr Usyk. And boy, it's quite a laundry list. Would you like me to go over it? Yeah. I actually wrote it down. But guys, before we move forward, let's give a shout out to our brother Juice. Thank you for joining us, sir. Salute Joseph, Coach Gogue, and chat. Another amazing live chat is among us. Only because you're here, my friend, as well as Coach Gogue. Thank you for joining us at this hour, sir. Brother Anthony says, Coach, what's the difference between training fighters from 108 pounds to 118, then training fighters from 122 to 147?
Well, when you got I say 130 pounds and down, all the motherfuckers are tough, man. They're tough. They're physical. Okay, they got, they're in great condition. They got good chins. They don't just lay down, okay, when you hit them. They're going to fight you. High punch volume output, usually. Once you start getting past in the welterweight division, the punch volume slows down a little, okay? So different, totally different than when you're training heavyweights, man, where you can't train them to, 200, 150 punches around. It's crazy. They're heavyweights, conservative. Take your time, pick your shots. Okay. Big guys, big muscles. They use a lot of energy, so you know what I mean. You don't want to just waste it all, just throwing a bunch of nonsense punches, okay? Because they're gonna be tired by the fourth, fifth, sixth round. But yeah, it's and the heavyweights, you got to be careful when they spar, man. Them big motherfuckers, man. Oh, you got to be real careful, man. Especially these big motherfuckers nowadays. Shit, you got to use 20-ounce gloves. Okay,
Yep.
on a lot of them heavyweights. Like Mike Tyson used to use in the days. He used to use 20-ounce gloves when he sparred, man, because he hit so hard. When he hit you, oh my God, he still hurt you with them 20-ounce gloves. So, stuff like that. And you don't teach them to throw, 20,000, 20 punch combinations, all that shit you see on Instagram. No. The punch output is a lot lower than in the heavyweight division than the little guys. Okay, now you see the little guys. Oh shit, Chocolatito and Juan Francisco Estrada, motherfuckers were throwing down round 1 through round 12. Okay, high punch volume output. They and they hurt each other during the fight, and they both landed big bombs. But they kept fighting through them tough times, during the battle and everything. Yeah, it's crazy. The only time, is it Anthony, I seen a heavyweight with a high punch volume attack.
Ooh, I know what you're going to say.
Of a lower weight division was Tua versus Ike Abiyabuchi in 97.
I knew it. Knew you were going to say that, Coach.
Motherfucker, them guys, is it 10 rounds? They just stood there and threw, man, like little guys, man. And the chin of Tua and the chin of Abiyabuchi. Ooh, the president, I beat a little nuts, but you know what I mean? Man, what a fighter he was. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Thank you for the question, Brother Anthony. Appreciate it, sir. Also want to give a shout out to our brother W.A.W. Hey, Coach, this surprise stream is interrupting the badminton game I was watching.
Shit. It's a lot more popular than watching Telemundo. Okay.
Thank you for joining us, and thanks for the comment, brother. Sue Sem says, will Coach watch Saturday?
Oh, yeah.
Top rank ESPN fights in the main event, Joet Gonzalez versus Dogbe. Isak Dogbe.
That's a stylistic fight that's made for TV.
Yep.
Two aggressive fighters with an aggressive mindset that got hurt spelled on their forehead. They want to hurt you. The both fighters are going to want to hurt each other. Both fighters, Joet Gonzalez, is a high volume punching attack. Okay, like when you seen in this fight with Navarrete, Dogbo, not as high volume, but he's aggressive, physical, and he can hit. So Gonzalez got to be very careful. Okay, you don't want to get hit by them big bombs early on by Dogbo. Okay, and as the rounds go on, he's got to wear Joet's got to wear Dogbo down. With his high volume punch attack and hitting that body, just like Navarrete. That fight is tailor made to be a fight of the year candidate, man. I'm a lot. You know what? Both guys, nobody knows who they are. But if you're a boxing fan and you know what styles make a good fight, you're gonna tune the fuck in. But you know what, Joe? There's a fight on the undercard I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Top Rank is putting two of their guys in there. Hey, they want to see who's gonna sink or who's gonna swim.
I love it.
Gabe Flores versus that
Giovanni Cabrera. Yep.
Yeah, awkward style. Yeah, they're gonna. Hey. Okay, who's gonna take the next step up the ladder, or who's gonna be released and given their pink slip?
Well, I think you have a pretty good idea as to who may get the pink slip, and that's someone who really hasn't looked good in his last two fights, and that's Gabriel Flores.
Oh man, he has it, man. But man,
Mm.
that fight when he had it in his hometown, I was
Oh
watching it
boy.
the other day.
Yep.
When he fought in Stockton, packed the place, sold out the place.
Yep.
Man, he looked pretty damn impressive, man. I gotta admit. Then after that, he had
Mm.
that fight with Lopez.
Oh boy.
He got his ass whooped to him, man. He got his ass handled.
Yeah, and it wasn't a one-punch knockout either. He got just a gradual, methodical beatdown.
Yeah, but I
Coach,
give him heart.
what's
I
most
give him
easy?
heart, Joe. I give him A for heart and effort that he didn't quit. He wanted
Yeah.
what do you call it? Fight to the end, not just throwing the towel. So I give him, A for effort for Gabriel Flores for doing that.
Coach, what's in your mind? What's easiest to come back from? A methodical 10-round beating or a one-punch knockout?
Fuck, one punch knockout. You don't take as many. If you get hit, okay, you go into the fight. Second round, you get caught with a shot. Boom. Okay, it's over with. All right. But if you're going through a grueling 10, 12 round fight, you're taking a lot of punches. Man, that's like having 5, 10 fights in one night.
You know what, Coach? I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid that Gabe may be damaged goods, sir. We'll see, though.
He's young, Joe. He's young.
That is true.
Hey, Joe,
by
the way, who do you think is going to win that fight?
Cabrera.
Why?
Because, like I said, Gabriel Flores, you remember in his last fight, he got a split decision, and whenever his opponent got inside, his only defense was to tie him up and wrap him up like an octopus. He fought terribly.
This guy doesn't fight inside. He's kind of like at range and distance and awkward.
Yep. But honestly, I'll be surprised if Gabriel Flores Jr. is the same fighter. I'll be very surprised if he's the same fighter.
Okay.
But once again, there are no right or wrong answers until we see the action unveil itself in the center of the ring, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see, guys. But it makes it a very intriguing evening of fights on ESPN. So thank you for the question, Jesus. Also want to give a shout out to my brother Frank Bay. Thank you so much. I said, geez, Joe, still working or just a boxing junkie? I think
we ain't got a fucking life, Frank.
And there it is, brother. You should know by now. This is my life, just like Coach Gogue. And there it is.
Hey,
also,
Joe, one thing I forgot to mention.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's talking about Joshua, what he has. As the fight comes closer, you're gonna hear all these experts. This. What he's got to do, and this and this. Everybody's talking about what he's got to do. Nobody's talking, and everybody's talking about offense. Nobody's talking about defense.
Yep.
How's he got to defend himself from Usyk's sophisticated attack?
Tell you what, we're going to talk about that then next, Gogie. I want to give a shout out to my brother G Funky. And guys, if you haven't already subscribed to his channel, please go do that at this time. G Funky always has great content. Thank you for joining us at this hour, sir. Also want to give it. Okay, a couple more before we actually move on. Want to give a shout out to our brother Hyphy. He always has great stuff. Always asks great questions. Welcome to the show, sir. He says, Coach James, I've heard respected trainers claim heavyweights are the most difficult to train because they're big, emotional babies. Your thoughts? Great question, sir, and you're absolutely right.
They're fucking a pain in the ass. Oh, not only they're a pain in the ass, but the sparring partners you bring in are a pain in the ass to deal with too. Yeah, they're fucking. They think because they're big and they think they could talk all that shit and because they're big and they could bully you and they act like prima donnas and they're lazy as fuck. They don't have to make weight. Okay. Hey, look, is it Hyphy?
It's Hyphy, sir.
Yeah. If you don't got to make weight, that means you ain't got. You know what I mean? You could take some shortcuts in training. Okay, because you ain't got to make weight. That means you can eat. You can eat that big extra. Dairy Queen triple burger with a banana split. Like that. You can't do it with the lower weight guys where they got to make weight. They got to be real disciplined, real focused. Okay, on what they eat every day. What they eat and what time they eat, and the amount they eat. At the heavyweight division, oh fuck no, man! You can eat what the fuck you want, and that's why you see a lot of fat slobs in the heavyweight division. Right? Yeah, they're a pain in the ass to train. Larry Holmes, I mean not Larry Holmes. Eddie Fletch was telling me, yeah, Larry Holmes, the great Larry Holmes was a headache to train, man. Never listened. And, he wanted to run his own show, Larry. And the only time he listened was hyphy. Only time the great Larry Holmes listened was when he was in a tough situation in a fight, and Eddie would explain to him how to get out of it. That's the only time he would listen. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Emmanuel said the same exact thing, that Matt, heavyweights are the biggest prima donnas and pain in the asses and biggest head cases.
Oh, yeah.
In the gym. Yep.
You know what? I was there when he had Lennox Lewis, when he was training Lennox. When they were in Big Bear, he was training at Larry Goosen's gym in the 90s. Then all of a sudden he got his own gym, Lennox. And, Lennox, he pretty much did everything Emmanuel told him. You know what I mean? He wasn't these like Riddick Bowe was a different character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but heavyweights, oh Jesus.
Well,
yeah,
and so was Oliver McCall, my friend.
Oh yeah, that's my boy. McCall, man, yeah, he's a good guy, man. But he was Lionel Butler. Oh God, Jesus, L Train, Lionel Butler.
The L Train, that's right.
Yeah, Joe Goosen trained him for I think 15 or 20 fights. And I asked Joe one time, how the hell did you last that long with that guy? Man. yeah, Joe, man. Joe was, he should get so much more credit. He should get trainer of the year sometimes. He's trained every fighter in the book, man. Every type of style, every weight division, heavyweights all the way to the smaller weight divisions. He knows how to train every type of style, every type of weight division. And he knows how to deal with every type of headache out there, man. Joe, Joe, man, to me, he's a fucking god, man. He's a legend, and he should be in the fucking Hall of Fame. And he never he never got voted trainer of the year, as long as I remember. That's how it tells you. That's what tells you, how political boxing is. Yeah, Joe, and he's still going at it, man. Yeah, he's still going at it. Yeah, Joe. Yeah.
There it is. So thank you for your question, Hyphy. Tell you what, we're going to move on to our brother Muhammad. Welcome back, sir. It's good to see you.
I could tell you a story about Lionel Butler one day. You guys are going to get a laugh, but we'll save it for another day.
All right, right on. Thank you, Coach. So salute Joseph and Coach. Spence has a tendency to look at his opponent's chest when he's working on the inside. Do you think Bud can catch him with a hook that he doesn't see coming and hurt him? Your thoughts, Coach?
Bud's, he sees things good in that ring. He sees the openings. He exploits them. Bud can throw every punch in the book, okay? Yep. And that's what you got to be able to do. You just can't have 3 punches in your arsenal, okay? You got to be able to throw every weapon in the book at every angle. So when that opportunity occurs, boom, you got to react within a 10th of a second and exploit that opening you see, because the windows of opportunity close in the elite level, especially when the cream's at the top. Yeah, you got to react not in seconds, within tenths of a second. Okay, when you see openings and you exploit it. Oh yeah, Muhammad, yeah. And Crawford's got great eyes. He sees stuff, okay, which he can exploit.
And there it is. Thank you for your question, sir. And it's good to see you back on the show, sir. Muhammad, hope you're doing well. And also give a shout out to my brother Minnie Meal, Coach Joe, and the chat. Welcome back, sir. Brother John McSmith, he says, Coach, what about Ryan Garcia's footwork and jab against Fortuna? How would you rate it?
Yeah, basic footwork, move, he knew what's the name was going to throw that left hand like Campbell. So what did he do? He used his footwork to step out of range. Take, 1, 2, or 3 steps back. That's smart. I always say, John, that footwork is the foundation of your defense, okay? If you know how to use your footwork and know how to keep that range and distance intelligently, you're going to get hit less. And that's what Ryan did the other night. And after a while, every time you try to throw that left hand, like Fortuna was doing, you keep on stepping out of range, and you're not going to hit your target. Then it's going to make you hesitant to throw that left hand. So as the rounds go on, you ain't got to step out of range because the guy ain't the guy ain't going to throw it because you pretty much took it away from him mentally. So you can stay in the pocket closer where you can land them bigger shots, which he did. That left hook, that first knockdown, or that 1-2 left hook at mid-range he threw. Okay, but Ryan played it smart. He took away that left hand by just stepping out of range. Then after a few, 3, 4, 5 times he did that, the guy was hesitant to throw it because he didn't know if Ryan was going to stay there or get out of range. So he didn't throw it. So Ryan got more comfortable to get closer to the guy. And when Ryan gets that right distance, he's a good puncher, man. He's a good puncher.
Hey, Coach, since we're actually talking about Ryan Garcia, let me last night we had the show with Ronnie Shields, right?
Yes.
He said this, and it kind of surprised me a bit. Oh, let me see if it surprises you. He said, quote, Tank had a really good amateur career, and he's been fighting since he was about 8 or 9 years old. I think many people forget about that. He's seen and competed against every style in the ring. He's been there. He's done that. I just think right now Tank is the better and more complete fighter, and I would favor him head-to-head against not only Ryan Garcia, but Lomachenko and Devin Haney as well. He's too experienced, too defensively sound, and too strong, end quote. Agree or disagree, sir?
Maybe Garcia and Haney, but not Lomachenko. Lomachenko also had a great, big, huge amateur background. And what's his name never fought on the international level. Lomachenko was a 2-time world champion, 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Mm-hmm. He has a lot more experience on the amateur and the international level than Gervonta Davis. Mm-hmm. Meaning he's faced higher levels of competition. Not only in the amateurs, but the pro level. It makes a difference, Joe. When you fight at that international level and you have the success that Lomachenko has, that's just, you can't teach that stuff, okay? It's the same with Usyk. That's why he had that. That's why there was a big disparity in skills, boxing IQ, and talent when he fought that novice Joshua. And Lomachenko, nah, man. I don't, like I said, he's getting older. I don't know where his mind is at because, that situation he's got going on back home. But, man, Lomachenko, he'll know how to neutralize all those big bombs of Tank and everything. You know what I mean? But the other two, I can't argue with Ronnie. But Lomachenko, what do you think he was able to fight for a title, in his second fight, win the title in his third fight?
Against a real badass like Gary Russell Jr. Yeah.
He beat the shit out of Gary Russell Jr. too. And Gary Russell Jr. had a more extensive amateur background than Tank. Tank just had Tank. Another thing is Tank never competed at the men's senior level. Okay, it makes a difference. Okay, he only fought when he turned 17 or 18. He turned pro. That means he won at the junior level, but he never won at the big boys, and that makes a difference. And man, when you fight, man, when you get to that international level and you start getting all those fights under your belt, like Demetrius Bivol, like Beterbiev, Jesus, man, it just makes when you transition to the pros, it just makes your game so much easier because you're ahead of everybody. And that other guy, that MJ, I don't know, that 22-pounder,
MJ Akhmadaliev.
Yeah, shit. He had a huge amateur background too. So that makes a difference in everything. For some guys, a lot of guys, you can have all the international fights and you still won't do shit in the pros. Like guys like Mike, what's that guy that got knocked out by Lee Wood? What's his name?
Oh, Michael Conlon.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. I mean, that ain't gonna happen. But some guys, Costa, oh Jesus, criminy, man. Costa had a huge international, amateur and international. So when he turned pro, he was ready fighting 10 rounds, 4 or 5 pro fights. Yep. Yeah, man. It makes a difference, man. Yeah. But Garcia and Tank and Devin, didn't have that international or the senior men's division experience under their belt. But so I would favor. Yeah, I agree with Ronnie with Tank, but Lomachenko, it depends, man. Like I said, he looked pretty damn good his last couple of fights against Comey and that Japanese guy. He beat the shit out of them guys. You think he's slipping? Nah. That Lomachenko's a bad dude.
And there it is. And there it is. So tell you what, you may see that in article form tomorrow morning, guys, on either Fight Saga or Boxing News 24. And there you have it. Thanks for the insight, Coach. And Coach Frank says, wow, Gabe Flores. Coach, were you high on him at the outset?
When he first turned pro?
Mm-hmm.
I was a wait-and-see guy, okay, because he didn't have that. He had amateur experience and he had international experience, but it was on the junior level. He never competed with the big boys, so that really, you know what I mean? It was wait and see, okay? Yeah.
And Coach, and this is not very this really doesn't happen very much at the hands of the top-ranked matchmakers. But were you actually surprised that he never adjusted and faced a hard pressure fighter at the 4, 6, and 8 round level that could have prepared him for Lopez?
Yeah, man. It all starts. Your coach is responsible for that.
Yeah, it's true.
Some guys you just can't keep them at range and distance and box the shit out of them. Some guys are just relentless pressure fighters like that Lopez. But you gotta be able to handle that pressure. When you're fighting a relentless pressure fighter, that Lopez guy, he's a bully. He wants to take your lunch money. What do you do to a bully? I always say, you punch him right in the fucking mouth to get his attention early on.
Yep.
Get the respect. Okay? He doesn't understand how to set himself in the pocket and fight proficiently in the trenches. Okay?
Yeah.
That's a skill. That's skill sets I seen he was missing coming up. And I thought it would bite him in the ass when he faced a style like Lopez. Okay. Tough style to fight, man. Them guys that are just relentless and they keep coming at you. And you hit them with your best shots and they're still coming at you. You gotta have you gotta have the skill sets, the mental composure and poise and the calmness in you to handle that pressure so your pipes don't break. Okay. There's an old saying, pressure breaks pipes. Well, that's why you got to have that you got to have the mental skill sets and the physical skill sets to handle that type of rugged physical style. I see it in Mexico all the time, man. These motherfuckers here, man. Yeah. They're just, yeah, it's good though. That's why I like, that's why I like it up here. Cause if, sparring these guys up here, fighting these motherfuckers up here. So when we go to the States, we're ready for that tough physical style. If we run across it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's very insightful. Thanks for the question, Frank. Let's move down. And once again, guys, I would like to actually start addressing the Anthony Joshua, right? So, guys, we're going to hold off on the questions for right now. Hold on real quick. Our brother Joey Chazzy says, Joseph, can you remind everyone why Canelo is the cash cow?
Yeah, he is.
Would you like to remind everyone as to why?
The biggest pay-per-view right now, and he's a gate attraction, and international. He's an international star. Where he's known everywhere, especially in England, Europe, wherever. Yeah, Canelo's a man right now in boxing. Even though he lost, he's still, he's still got that high exposure. I mean, that high marketability. Okay.
And let's compare that to, and I'm going to ask you then, Coach, why isn't Demetrius Andrade the cash cow and is now being ordered by the WBO to defend his title against Ali Manallah, Janibek Ali Manallah? And he's being represented and, promoted now by Dimitri Salita Promotions. Were you surprised when I told you the news, sir?
Yeah, it was, because I knew his contract was up. I knew who the hell wants that guy. The guy wants too much money. He's boring when you watch him fight. He's overpaid. Eddie overpaid him, and he's not a big ticket seller. So, I mean, Honestly, man, nothing against Dimitri Andre, but who gives a shit about him?
And that's it, guys. Look.
Every time he fights, it's not like I want. Hey, I'm gonna tune the fuck in.
Uh,
If I ain't got nothing to do, I'll watch him. But if not, I don't care.
yeah, poor Demetrius. And once again, he's one of the most talented fighters in boxing. But if you're a pain in the ass to work with and you're not a big ticket seller, best of luck to you. And guys, a little bit later, we're going to talk about another big pain in the ass to work with and who isn't a draw as well at this time. And that's Adrian Broner. We're going to talk about him a little bit later. But right now, guys, we're going to go over James Gogue's keys to victory for Anthony Joshua. And once again, this is going to be in article form as well, sir, tomorrow.
Go ahead.
So, Coach, I'm going to rattle off what you told me.
I forgot every single one of them.
September. Once again, this was in September of last year, or maybe it was October of last year, after the first match between Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk, and you broke down specifically 7 items that he needed to improve upon if he wanted to actually be competitive and hopefully defeat Oleksandr Usyk. Here it goes. I'm going to rattle them off, and you explain exactly what you mean by all of this.
Hey, Joe, I forgot every single one of them.
Well, that's I knew you would. That's why I wrote them down, sir. Number 1, fight behind an intelligent and assertive jab.
Yeah, you seen the first fight when he had that jab out there. It kept Usyk at bay, and it kept Usyk from maneuvering him, getting close to him, so he couldn't get hit. So he couldn't get hit with that left hand of Usyk. See, Usyk, smart motherfucker, man, intelligent. He knows how to close that distance and get out of and not stay in the line of fire on that right hand. He understands the importance of control that lead leg placement, meaning he has his lead leg outside of Joshua's lead leg at all time, so he can step at angles and throw that left hand. And when you do that, your head is not in the line of fire. Your head is off to the right, where you can't get hit by that counter right hand by Joshua. Okay, but if he has that jab out there and he's touching him with that jab, that's gonna prevent Usyk from getting closer, and it's gonna It's gonna set up that right hand that Usyk ain't gonna see at times. Okay, but it depends. You got to throw all types of jabs. You got to throw not only that stiff jab just to get his attention, but put a lot of touch jabs out there, just to keep Oleksandr from coming close and stepping at angles so he can hit you with those combinations or that straight left hand and everything. But his jab was pretty non-existent, if I recall, Joe.
Non-existent, brother.
Yeah.
And you know what? And it was at one speed, Coach, when he did throw it.
The thing is, that's why it made the fight so easier for Usyk, because he didn't have to worry about that jab coming in. But if you got a good jab and you keep it out there, number one, the jab is the number one important weapon in boxing. Okay? Number one, it's the number one important weapon in boxing because it's the only weapon in boxing where you could use as an offensive weapon and a defensive weapon. Offensive weapon, control that range and distance, and it's gonna set up your combinations. It gets you into that timing and rhythm that you want, that good flow where everything, you know your distance, where you can put your combinations together, whatever combinations you're working on. Number 2, it keeps Usyk at range where you're not going to get hit more. Okay, that's why it has 2. It's the only weapon in boxing where you're capable of doing that, offensively and defensively. Use that as a weapon.
And there it is, guys. And and that's just one thing that he must improve upon if he wants to be competitive or defeat.
That's number 1.
Usyk. That's number one, sir. And number 2, you said, boy, he needs to improve his footwork and cut off the escape routes.
Yeah.
Where does that start when you're facing a southpaw, Coach?
Control. It's all about getting that controlling the left leg position, left leg, the lead leg position. positioning, making sure his lead leg is outside of Usyk's lead leg consistently. Because if he's not, what's his name is going to be able to attack him at angles. Okay, what's his name is going to be able to hit him with that straight left hand to the face more or to the body, and Joshua's not going to be able to counter because what's his name's at an angle. Okay, but if he takes away that lead leg positioning consistently, Usyk's going to be right there in the line of fire for that straight right hand or that left hook or that straight right hand. Right hook, left hand, right hook. That's a punch I would throw at medium range, not long range. Usyk's got great, he's a big guy. He's got great reflexes. Punches at long range, he'll see it a mile away and he'll step back. He'll take 1 or 2 steps back just to get out of range. But the closer you get to Usyk, he doesn't see the punches as good. So that right hand hook, basic combinations. They work pretty damn good when you're fighting a southpaw. But yeah, and another thing is when you control that lead leg and make your lead legs outside of his lead leg consistently, Usyk can't turn the corner on you. He can't pivot around you. Okay, all right. He pivot around you, meaning he can't pivot around Joshua. He can't pivot around Joshua to his
weak side, to his weak side.
Left. Yeah, and that you prevent it. That's one of the factors in taking away Usyk's escape routes. Okay, take away his ability to pivot around you. Okay, to your left, to Joshua's left. Okay, make him stay to Joshua's right. So he's going to be always in that direct line of the fire with a direct line of fire for that straight right hand. Yeah. Because once Usyk keeps pivoting, once Usyk keeps pivoting around you, you're going to be following him around the ring. So you got to take away that escape route, like I call it, okay? Which he uses it very, very effectively. Keep him going to Joshua's right as much as possible. So he can't use that escape route. I call it one of his Houdini tricks. He's gone. Keep him to your right. Keep Usyk to your right. So he's in that direct line of fire, man. Yeah, for that right hand or left hook or whatever. Yeah. So it's all strategy and skill, man. That's all.
And there it is. Is it any coincidence that was your number 2 coach?
Yeah, you can't take away his escape routes, or you can't cut off that ring intelligently by taking away his escape routes. What do you call it? Keep him moving, laterally side to side. Man, yeah, it's gonna be tough for Joshua to win the fight because he's not gonna be there to get hit consistently when he's moving. From right to left, left to right, pivoting around you. You know what I mean? That means when Usyk's doing that means he's in control of the fight. Ring generalship, okay? Yeah.
And there it is, number 3 coach.
You understand, Joe, what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. And once again, if you want a reference, go look at the job Teofimo Lopez did against his, stablemate, Vasyl Lomachenko. Right?
Yeah.
When they fought during the pandemic. Brilliant job of cutting off those escape routes, continuously forcing Lomachenko to move right in that power hand, right? Moving to his left, Teofimo's right.
Move to his left, yeah.
And so here's number 3, coach. Use the high guard earmuff defense when cutting off the ring. He didn't do that once, coach, in the first fight.
That's a skill, man. That's hard. That takes a lot of time to learn. Winky Wright, Winky Wright, Ronald Winky Wright. Watch his fight with Shane Mosley or Felix Tito Trinidad. How he would stay right in front of you, walk you down with that high guard. What do you call it? Earmuff defense. He opened his gloves up and he would cover his whole face up. Okay, where you couldn't get a clean shot on him, even when he stayed right there in front of you. And to me, man, you got to walk him down, okay? Okay, if you can't slip his punches, okay, or you're not, or if you can't use your footwork effectively to move out of range when Usyk throws, and you're gonna stay there in the pocket, you got to have a nice, tight, high guard defense where when Usyk's hitting you, it's just hitting the side of your gloves, or it's just hitting your gloves, the side of the gloves, or hitting your forearms. If you're real good at it, like former WBA bantamweight champ Richie Sandoval, he stand right in front of you, Joe. You could throw 10 straight punches, and he'll just block them with his forearms. Yeah, I used to see him do that, man, in the gym. But Winky Wright, Marlon Starling, Marlon Starling, Moochie Starling, the former WBC champion, welterweight champ. He had that type of defense where high guard covered his face off, where you couldn't get a clean shot on him, and that's what Joshua's got to do, man. You know what I mean?
Yep, he didn't do that once during the first fight.
Nah. He don't have the skill sets to do it though, Joe. And I don't think they're teaching him that. So I would do that. You're walking a guy down who's crafty and tricky, that knows how to, maneuver around you and all that. You got to cut off all the escape. You got to cut off all the escape routes first.
I will say this though, Robert Garcia.
Once you're getting close, Joe, you got to keep them hands up. If you can't slip them punches, you got to keep them hands up nice and tight, where you could be able to effectively block them. You know what I mean? That's a skill set. It takes a long time to learn, man.
Wow. Well, he doesn't have a long time, that's for sure. And number 4, coach, be able to read feints and focus on your damn offense. Don't be so concerned with what your opponent's going to do. Number 4.
Yeah, well, it's hard when you're fighting a guy like Usyk and he's hitting you with shit. And you know what I mean? When you're getting the shit whooped out of you, or you're getting hit with everything and you ain't got to answer, you're going to freeze. He's just Robert. You got to have an aggressive mindset, okay? And Robert Garcia, that's why they brought Robert in, to have that aggressive mindset, to attack. Don't worry about what he's going to do. Don't wait so much, okay? Be physical, okay? Have a more physical mindset. But they got to do it in an intelligent manner, because Usyk, boy, you make a mistake and you're overly aggressive, and there's openings in your openings in your defense, he's going to exploit it. He's going to nail you with some shots. So, yeah. Is that what the question was, Joe? Don't wait. Yeah, don't. Basically.
Well, I'll read it again. Read feints, or be able to read feints and focus on your offense. Don't be so concerned with what your opponent's doing.
Yeah. You know what, Joe? Say, hey, fuck you. Fuck what you're doing. I'm going to beat your ass. Walk him down. That's all. Yeah. Fuck all your feints. But Joshua, when he got hit every time he gets hit by a punch, he gets kind of flustered, man. You know what I mean? He doesn't have that motherfucker. Okay, bitch, I'm going to get you back, you motherfucker. Okay. And that's what they brought Robert Garcia in there. They had that fucking, you know what I mean? That fucking pit bull mentality. I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to, you know what I mean? I'm going to be relentless. I'm going to be physical. Okay. Yeah.
There it is, coach. We're going to move on to number 5. Good luck with this one. Well, no, he actually found success when he did go do this. And you said, don't abandon the body. Add more combinations and be creative with him.
Man, he didn't. If you notice when they fought, every time they got inside, there were opportunities to rip body shots, especially when you fight a southpaw. The right uppercut to the body always lands, okay? The straight right hand to the body at medium range lands, all right? It's hard to land a left hook to the liver on a southpaw because of the angle, okay? But the straight right uppercut, the straight right hand at medium range, and that sweeping right hook to the body always lands, okay? Once you hit that body, okay, that's going to freeze Usyk, okay? Then you come back to the head, all right? Because once you freeze him, that means he's not moving around, okay? He's a stationary target. His head's a stationary target. Come back to the head. I mean, once I hit him, if I was Joshua, I'd hit him with that right uppercut to the body to freeze him, then come back with a left hook to the head, then come back with a right hand to the head. Okay, you got to throw the combinations that are going to be effective when you get that right distance. When you get that medium or that little close range, that right uppercut to the body, hook to the head, right hand to the head works perfectly. Or that straight right hand, that straight right hand to the body. Okay, come back with a hook to the head. You gotta, in camp, you gotta work on different combinations and find out the ones that work. Okay, when you're sparring and all this other shit, man. Yeah.
So. And there it is. Brilliant stuff. I hope you guys are enjoying this because this is amazing.
I would know the mother. Joe, honestly, I would rip them body shots more just to slow him down. And it's going to set his headshots up more effectively. But another combination that works very, very good in the inside is the uppercut to the chin, left hook, right hand. Uppercut, hook, right hand. Old school combination. Richie Sandoval used to throw that brilliantly. Yeah. When he fought. Yeah. That's one of the Edwin Chapo Rosario threw that combination very effectively. But that works beautiful on a southpaw when you got the right distance, medium range, just short to medium range, that uppercut, hook, right hand. See, that's the problem with Joshua in his last fight. He wasn't throwing no fucking effective combinations.
No.
Okay. So you got to work on the combinations that are going to be effective at the range you're at, whether you're in the pocket, whether you're at medium range, or whether you're at long range. Okay. Just my opinion.
And there it is, Coach. Number 6. Impose your size and force Usyk to use more energy.
Yeah. When you get in the clinches, don't just fucking take him and push him back. Get physical with them, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, let them know that, hey, I'm the boss, okay? Let them know that I'm the boss. But don't do that a lot because that's a bunch of wasted energy, all right?
Yep.
Do it when you have to, when you got to get inside and you can't find the punch you want to land or you can't get off offensively. Smother the motherfucker, tie him up, and rough him up, man, okay? But Usyk, that motherfucker, you think he don't know that? When you're wasting all that energy, he'll stay relaxed. He'll stay relaxed because of his experience, and he'll let you waste the energy, man. Yeah.
And there it is. Final key to victory from Gogue's analysis. Number 7, Coach. Get off first and.
Yeah, it's about, like I said, Joe, it's about not worrying about what your opponent's gonna do. Just get off. If you get hit with a good shot, hey man, get back to the game plan. Being physical, being intelligent. If you get hit with a good shot, make that adjustment so you don't get hit with that same punch. But get back to your game plan, which is being the more physical guy, cutting off the ring, cutting off his escape routes, trying to make Usyk a stationary target as much as possible. Then once you get him into that position where he's stationary, throw the combinations that are going to be most effective when you're at that range, whether it's short, medium, or long range. Okay, throw the combinations which are going to be the most effective. Like I said, them basic. I just mentioned a couple basic ones that work effectively against southpaws. Everybody's throw the straight right hand. Nah, man, throw the straight right hand, left hook, right hand. Have something, throw a combination, have something for Usyk to worry about. Instead of throwing one fucking punch, Usyk ain't got nothing to worry about. Oh, fuck, I'll slip that, I'll block it, I'll step back out of range where you ain't gonna hit me. But you put 2 or 3 together, hey, now he's got to worry about the other 2 punches. Okay, that's what I would do. But anyway, I'm not training the motherfucker, so I don't know what they're doing. But that's what I would do. Fuck one punch. Put 2 or 3 together, 4 the most. Okay, yeah, and let him have something. Throw something at him where he's gonna have something to think about. What I'm trying to say. Okay,
there it is. And there it is, guys. So there's Coach Gogue's 7 crucial keys to victory. Well, to hopefully be more competitive in the rematch and possibly get the victory. Now,
the
Coach,
most important thing is defense, Joe. Because if he's getting hit at will,
Mm-hmm.
Joshua's going to go back to his own self. He's going to go back in a shell. He's going to be hesitant. Okay. So the most important thing is defense. Okay.
Oh, guys, you know what? Once again, Coach, brilliant stuff. And guys, if you like what Coach is telling you, please hit the like button. And you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to War Week Radio with Coach James Gogue. I tell you what, Coach, brilliant stuff. And once again, guys, look for that in article form as well. I want to give a shout out to our brother Scott 70. Thank you for joining us, sir. Also want to give a shout out to our brother Minnie Mill. He says, Coach is so knowledgeable and deserving. I wish he could find his boxing protege that would give him the recognition he deserves. That's a nice sentiment. Thank you, Minnie Mill.
Fuck recognition. I just want the money. fuck the fame. I just want to get paid.
And there it is.
Hey, Joe, you know what? Another thing, man, I was thinking right now.
Yes, sir.
I would do if Joshua's a medium range, throw that straight right hand. Just touch him with it, not hard. Just touch him with it. But sneak that left uppercut in there, okay? That right, when you touch him with that right hand, it's gonna blind him. Then throw that left uppercut coming from an angle. He ain't gonna see that, okay? So instead of throwing that right hand hard, like Joshua, that all them fucking muscles, that muscle, just touch him with it. Quick touch.
I love it.
Touch, not a slow touch. So quick touch and come back with a left uppercut. Then come back with a right hand, a hard right hand. You can't throw all your punches hard. That's what I mean. Touch him on one, hit him with the sharp, then the last one, make it hard. Okay, that's why you gotta. Yeah, it comes with experience. Knowing how to change, the what do you call it? The variation of your punches. Taking some steam off some, but putting some steam on some and everything. Yeah.
Use disjunct intervals. Yeah, do anything to disrupt his timing and rhythm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There it is, man. He's such a prolific counterpuncher.
Off a right hand, that motherfucker ain't gonna see it. Usyk.
And there it is. I also want to give welcome to Luis Puente. He says you have to make Usyk uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Rough him up. Easier said than done, but not impossible.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody has a game plan, like Mike Tyson said, until they get punched in the face. And Usyk, hey, it's all great and dandy. I got my 7 things he needs to do, but can he execute them on a sophisticated predator like Usyk? Ooh.
And in a short amount of time without an interim fight. Yeah.
Exactly.
Coach, what are the chances of that happening in just 1 month's time? Remember, guys, we're a month out exactly from the fight.
Man. Robert is going to get him meaner, nastier, more violent, okay, more aggressive and physical. Okay, so we'll see how that plays out. And but the bottom line is his defense going to be better when he's being aggressive? To me, if you're aggressive, you're usually easier to hit. So we'll see.
Yeah, boy, that's going to be. I tell you what, though, let's take a look, though, guys, at the betting odds for the rematch, shall we?
Yeah, what is the odds?
Well, I tell you what, as of right now, in the book that we always like to consult is the BetMGM out of Vegas, and currently they have Oleksandr Usyk as a very competitive 2-1 betting favorite, which is only a minus 200, and they've got Anthony Joshua as the very live underdog at plus 160, or just a little better than 1.5 to 1. Are you surprised that they're that short, Gogie?
Yeah, I thought it. 1 second. I thought it would be 3 to 1, but that ass whooping he got his last fight. Right?
Yeah, and you know what? In spots, it wasn't even competitive, was it?
Now, you know what, Joe? Maybe Joshua makes adjustments where he closes the playing field. Okay, but bringing in Robert Garcia helps a lot because that last coach he had.
Yeah.
So I think Robert's an excellent coach. I know Robert ever since he was fighting in the amateurs.
Yeah, he's a former lightweight IBF champion.
Yeah, he's a better trainer than he is a fighter. Yeah, he's a great motivator in the corner too. So
He
yeah,
sure is. He's a great
yeah,
guy
he's
on
a great.
top of it as
Robert's
well.
a great guy, man. Robert, man, he's a great guy. Man, he's a great guy. He takes care of his fighters, and yeah, he's a great guy. And I can see why Joshua brought him in and everything. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it sure is. We'll see if that equates, though, to a big victory on August 20th. Guys, once again, look for Goge's breakdown tomorrow morning on Boxing News 24. Frank, he says, bags over legacy. I love it. Keeping it real.
yeah,
That's Coach, man. He's a straight shooter. Yep, he's going to give it to you
yeah.
candid. Tell you what, let's go back up and answer some of these questions before we actually move forward and wish Coach Goge a very excellent evening. Hold on. We've passed over several questions. Let me go back, guys. Hold on. My apologies. So we're going all the way back to, let's see. Okay, here it is. My apologies. Anthony Manzano, he says, I thought Sam Langford started out in the lower weight division before he was a heavyweight, and he had a lot of high punch output fights during his career and heavyweight.
Sam Langford, he was a lightweight champion of the world.
And there it is.
Man, that's Don Chargan's time.
Yep. So John McSmith says, Coach, we already did that one, didn't we? My apologies, guys. Let me move forward then. I know. Okay, there it is. Vinny Mills says, Coach, what boxing style is the hardest to defeat? And what boxing style is the easiest? That's a loaded question, though, because all it depends on the fighter now, doesn't it, Coach?
The hardest style to beat, look, man, Minnie, when you can even ask Bruce Trampler, okay? Hall of Fame matchmaker, him and Brad Goodman. When you got a prospect coming up, the worst style to face is a southpaw who moves. What style is the easiest to fight? Shit, a guy that comes right at you if you know how to handle their pressure. It's like getting a punching bag workout in the ring. All right.
And there you have it. There you have it, guys. Hold on. We're doing my check.
Guys that come right at you, fuck. I could close my eyes and hit them all day. Yeah.
And there it is. Minnie Hill has another one. He says, Coach, how do you avoid overtraining a boxer?
Yeah, that comes from experience, man. Knowing what days to push them hard, knowing what days just to back off. It goes by how they're looking in the gym. Okay, Eddie Futch told me this, man. I'll never forget. Eddie Futch, Hall of Fame trainer. I'm pretty sure you guys know who he is. He told me. I asked Eddie, "What's your routine usually in the gym every day?" He goes, "I don't know." I didn't understand what do you mean? He goes, well, you never know how the fighter's going to feel that day. Some days he might come in the gym and you might have him want to spar 10 rounds, but he might be real sluggish and not feeling good. He might only go 4, or he might not be, he might go real sore and this and that. So you might just have to cancel the sparring until the next day. So, when you see a fighter start getting, it comes from experience, okay? I have a good feel when a guy's hitting his peak, knowing when to back off, okay? All right? Especially during sparring. Like 2 weeks for the fight, if your fighter's sharp in sparring, he goes 8 to 10 rounds. He's sharp. He's razor sharp. Combinations flowing. Defense is good. Breathing good. Not that tired. That means he's peaking right there, okay? He's peaking. He's ready to fight. You don't need to start sparring him, keep on sparring him 8 to 10 rounds. You taper it down to 6 rounds, okay? All right? To 4 rounds even, if you got to, okay? That's when that's when, and that's what one of the formulas I use, when to start tapering down on the sparring. When I see him like 2 weeks of the fight, he's breathing good. His weight's down within reason. He's sharp on his combinations. Oh yeah, and I'm working him on the pads. Okay, when I'm working him on the pads, I'm like, man, this guy's razor sharp, man. His combinations are flowing. What do you call it? His reflexes are good. Timing rhythm's good. Balance is good. Everything's good. All the stuff you're working on. is going beautiful. That means, man, time to back the fuck off. What you do is you don't try to get the knife sharper. You just maintain. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it. Great stuff. Thank you so much, Minnie Mill. Let's move to Anthony Manzano. He says, Coach, in your honest opinion, what is the most underrated fight that no one talks about any longer that exceeded all expectations in terms of entertainment and excitement?
Oh, man, there's so many of them, man. I like that Jose Luis Ramirez and Chapo Rosario, too, in Puerto Rico. Whoa, what a war. That was fight of the year. Oh,
Yep.
man, there's so many of them, man. There's so many of them, man, that nobody talks about. I mean, the fights in the 80s, there are a lot of them, man. Holyfield versus Kwai. Oh, I mean, there's just so many of them.
Now, this
Hagler
wasn't,
and Mugabe.
you know,
Okay.
Coach, tell me if you agree with this. Oh, my gosh. John the Beast Mugabe and Marvin Hagler. Did you just say that?
Oh, yeah. What a fuck. I mean, there's so many of them.
There
Anthony.
are so many.
There's so many.
You
In
can
this
break it
era of
down by
boxing-
year. Yeah.
In this era of boxing,
Yeah. Let's confine it to the last 20 years, Coach.
oh shit, I don't know.
You know,
Diego
here
Morales?
I'll throw one. I'll throw one here. Everyone still brings that up, right? But I'll throw in one that no one brings up anymore, and it was breathtaking. And it was in the heavyweight division. Layman Brewster versus Sergey Liakovich.
Yeah, good little scrap.
Boy, that was a fight. And I'll tell you what, that ruined both fighters, Coach. Both
Yeah.
fighters were never the same after that.
How about Diego Corrales and Castillo won?
See, everyone still talks about that, though. But
Oh,
yeah,
they do?
that was
Okay, sorry
that
about
was
that.
one of the best fights of the new millennium. Like you
Tell
could say,
what, man, the greatest fight that was never on TV. You can even ask Don King or Carl King. Was my guy Tony Lopez against Freddie Pendleton. Oh my God. We fought on a Showtime card, but we fought on the undercard. Why they didn't have our fight televised? Fuck. Oh man, it was the greatest fight, greatest undercard fight on a televised card. Yeah, Tony Lopez versus Freddie Pendleton. Oh Jesus, man. Oh, my guy got dropped twice. The first and second round. Fifth round he dropped Pendleton. The sixth round he dropped Pendleton. Man, that crowd at the MGM Grand. Ooh, it was electric, man. Yeah. Then the ref ended up stopping the fight because my guy was taking a lot of punches, like in the 7th or 8th round. But that Pendleton boy, yeah, ballsy guy. Freddie Pendleton, the former IBF champ. He started his career with 17. I mean, before he made that run to the title, he lost 17 fights. He was like 18-17, I think.
wow.
Then he got on a win streak and he won the title. Yeah, but
That's
that
amazing.
just tells you these motherfuckers nowadays like that. What's that guy's name? That's Southpaw. That was the junior lightweight champ, IBF, that Jojo Diaz beat.
Oh,
Farmer.
yeah. Tevin Farmer.
Oh, I remember he was bragging on Twitter. Oh, yeah, I lost 4 times, but I still became champion. I go, motherfucker, Freddie Pendleton lost 17 times, and he still became champion. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Orlando Salido lost more as well.
Who?
Orlando Salido lost a ton as well. He lost a dozen before he won a world title.
Yeah.
There is. Okay, here's one that no one talks about anymore. And the reason why no one remembers it, because it was the same year as Corrales Castillo won. Okay? Now, it was the runner-up, and it was definitely a Fight of the Year candidate, but it was 2005, Tomas Adamek versus Paul Briggs.
Oh, yeah.
That was an absolute war at 175 pounds.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a scrap. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Paul Briggs. And once again, tough as nails, heavy hands.
Yeah.
Guy had a granite chin, but he took a beating those 2 fights with Tomas Adamek.
Paul Briggs from England, if I recall.
No, from Australia.
Australia. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Australia.
And I tell you what, Tomas Adamek, the Polish Iron Horse, man, that guy was just tough, man. And that guy had a chin. And, despite looking like Barney Fife from the Andy Griffith Show, boy, he had a serious beard.
Yeah.
You could hit him with the lead pipe and he'd still keep coming forward and wanting to fight you.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant fight. So thank you for your question, Anthony. Here's funny. Coach, what questions are we not asking that we should be asking?
Good question.
And there it is. Thank you so much, Coach. It's about 65 minutes in. Do you have time for anything else?
No. What question should we be asking? What we're not asking? Oh, here's one. Why is that retread Adrian Broner and Omar Figueroa fighting on Showtime main event? All right. Retreads.
And with that said, this is going to be our final topic, guys. But we want to thank all of you for hanging with us and all of you for all these great questions. Thank you so much, guys. And once again, it's always a pleasure to share the air with all of you guys. So here's our final topic, right? Coach Adrian Broner, we were on a video conference call, right? A video press conference call. And Broner, well, he took exception to what was going on. Like, he took exception that it was on video and not what we saw today for Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz, right? It was a real press conference with the stage, cameras, all of that, okay? So he took exception to it, and he said this, quote, man, I ain't with none of this shit they got going on. I feel like Al Heyman and Steven Espinosa is just bullshitting, because why are we doing a press conference on a computer when you got guys like, they don't do Floyd shit on computer when he's fighting a YouTuber. They don't do anybody else's shit like that on computer, but why are they doing my shit on a computer? So that's telling me, he goes, so that, hold on, let me finish the quote. He says, so that's telling me they don't give an F about me. So when you say F me, no, that's F y'all. That's all I came out here to say. Anyone can see it at this point. They just bullshitting. Pushing our dates back. I mean, come on. Who the F does a 6-month camp? So I'm going to get up out of here and go get some sleep, y'all. End quote. Well, this is what he had to say today, Coach, or immediately following on Instagram. He said, quote, stand-up men can own up to a mistake. Showtime Boxing, Showtime Sports, and Al Heyman. We're locked in for life. I love y'all. See y'all in some week. Let's go. August 20th. P.S. I meant everything I said. That press conference on a Zoom call blew me. End quote. Coach, if you were Al Heyman, if you were Steven Espinosa, what would be your reaction to all of this?
Look, here, this is your last chance. The only reason why Adrian is getting the day because he probably owes Al a lot of money, and Al wants to get paid back. I mean, honestly, he's broke. He's probably broke because the motherfucker's fiscally irresponsible, from what I hear, and he probably borrowed a shitload of money from Al, like they all do, and Al wants his money back. So I'll say, okay, here's your TV date. Okay, pay me back my money you owe me. If you don't win this fight, I don't think Al's going to take care of him anymore. I mean, look, Joe, the guy is a retread, and the other guy's a retread too. You got retread 1 fighting retread 2. When was the last time Adrian Broner won a fight? Honestly, I don't even know.
I don't even remember, and I'm not going to look it up right now, Coach.
Figueroa, when was the last time he won a fight?
I don't remember, and I'm not going to look it up, Coach.
Okay, nobody can remember. Okay, look, man. You got 2 guys that haven't won fights in a long time. They haven't looked spectacular. Then all of a sudden, they're going to give them a main event on Showtime. That's what I don't understand that. I'm just being, giving you my opinion. When they got guys like Boots Enos and other good young fighters that Showtime has, they can, they should be giving them the opportunity to be the main event. Then these 2 retreads. You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh,
who do you think is going to win this fight, Joe? Do you care?
Honestly, I couldn't care less. These guys both should be in the clubhouse. They're both shot fighters. They're both has-beens who can't sell tickets any longer. And it's, in my opinion, Coach, this is a complete waste of a precious TV date.
Damn right.
Like, guys, these TV dates are so rare. You only get a limited number of them throughout the entire year. Why waste it on these idiots?
You only get 12 a year, 12 a year or something like that, one a month.
That's it. So why waste it on this?
I've been saying that. But anyway, I don't run Showtime. I don't call the shots. So they got their agenda.
I mean, gosh, I can't even begin to fathom, because Al Heyman, he still has a roster of over 250 fighters.
I know, man. Yeah,
they must be absolutely pissed about this.
Well, the guys like Enos is not with Al, but he's a
no.
He's a future pound for pound star. So to me,
that's right.
You build your network by showing the future stars of boxing, the future superstars of boxing, which I think Enos is. I think he's the real goods, from what I've seen.
That's it, brother. I tell you what, you know what? I'm going to say, and I think this happened, gosh, I want to say, when did this happen, Coach? I'm going to read this. Do you remember this fight, Coach? Luis Concepcion versus Hernan Tyson Marquez. Do you remember that one? That was a great fight.
That was a brawl.
That was a great fight. Loved it. What was that? How long ago was that? It seems like eons ago.
That was a while back, man. Yeah.
About 12, 13 years ago, maybe? I don't remember. It had to have been over a decade ago, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great fight, though. That's a good one, Jesus. Thank you for bringing that up, sir. Good eye on that. And, Mini Mill, thank you, man, for saying this. This is for answering his questions before. He says, thanks, Coach. And then he says this, Coach. Coach, may God bless you with more money than recognition herein.
All I care about. That's all I care about, Mini Mill.
Don't lie, brother. Come on.
Stock recognition, I could give a shit. Only thing I want to do is get my pockets fatter every day. I want my pockets fat.
What I'm saying is, Coach, that's not the only reason why you do it. Come on now. Be honest.
Man, I'm too old for that recognition and all that shit. To me, I do it because it's to help these fighters become the best they could be, to reach their potential, reach their potential as a fighter, to be the best they can be. I enjoy teaching the sweet science to these guys, not only the physical, but the mental aspect.
Keeps you young, Coach.
And everything around, and everything that involves being a world-class championship level fighter. And, to me, this stuff behind the scenes and the money, when they fight, I want to get paid, but recognition and all that.
And there it is. Thank you for the blessing, though, Mini Meal. We appreciate the prayers, sir.
Thank you.
I tell you what, Jonathan Richards, thank you for joining us, sir. Yes, thank you for joining us at this hour, senor. It's already 1:13 on the East Coast.
Jesus, criminy.
And there it is. So, Coach, you think that's about it? You think we should call it a day, sir?
No, one more question, and that's fucking it. Yeah.
And there it is. I tell you what, guys, we want to thank you, though. Thank you all for joining us and staying up with the Coach this late at night. And we have a very healthy audience. And so thank you, guys. It really means a lot to Coach. So let's look for one. Does anyone have one more question? Let me look. I think we skipped something. Okay. Hold on. Oh, geez. Let's do Anthony Manzano. He says, Coach, since you train in Mexico and you scout that boxing scene, who is the best club fighter who never made it pro? Well, obviously it's a pro if he's fighting on the club scene, but who never made it big or chose to stay at the club level with most of his career in boxing, throughout most of his career in boxing. Does that make sense, Coach?
Man, I don't know, man. If you're good at the club level, man, you usually rise to the next level. Okay, if you're good, you're good. The cream rises to the top. Okay, if you don't rise to the top, that means you ain't shit. All right.
Yeah, but Coach, I think what he's saying, because Don Charkin used to call these guys, and they're all serviceable kind of journeymen. They're referred to most of the time in boxing. But Don Chargan used to always call them, and he mentioned this in his memoirs, they're the unsung heroes of the sport.
Yeah,
they're basically the carving knives for all the best fighters who end up being the biggest stars of the sport. And they don't get any parade. They don't get any fanfare, but they're very crucial to the health of the sport.
Yeah, they're called opponents.
Well, my version and Don's version sounded a lot more poetic now, didn't it?
Hey, man, you need opponents. Opponents have value. There's different levels of opponents now, okay? When you get to the start fighting on ESPN, you need solid opponents for the main event for your in-house fighter or for the undercards, the guys you're developing, okay? For your roster of fighters. You need that. You need opponents that's going to give you the right nurturing, the right seasoning to help you develop as a fighter. Yeah, opponents are, they have high value. High value. Yeah.
Do you remember Hector Velasquez from Mexico?
Yeah.
That was a tough guy he gave every prospect on their way up. Boy, he gave him hell.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them, man.
Yep.
Robinson Castellano. That was a tough one.
Castellano. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I tell you what, guys, there are too many to mention, but I tell you what, our hats off to them. I'll tell you what I can't stand, though, Coach. I can't stand some of these trainers who it's not even a good matchup. I can't stand some of these trainers or wannabe trainers who merely look at it as a paid vacation to a Vegas resort or a casino.
Yeah.
And they just want to get on TV and they really don't care if their fighter gets their asses whooped.
Yeah.
You know a lot of guys like that, brother.
They call them meat men. Meat men.
But guys, just be aware of that. That's a huge problem in the sport. Guys,
you need guys like meat men to bring the opponents in, man. Okay. I mean,
tell you what, though, man. Sometimes it's just brutal, though, Coach.
Hey,
sometimes it's brutal.
This sport is not women's tennis. It's not badminton. It's vicious, violent, unforgiving. All right. So.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So there you go, Anthony. Thank you so much for the final question. And I tell you what, guys, God bless all of you. Thank you for staying up with us. And thank you for once again making a great Gogue segment. Gogue, do you have any parting shots for our listening audience, sir? Well, let's check it out right now. Live, guys, it was overall for this live chat. Let me look. Hold on. So far, it's 145.
Oh, thank you, all 145 people for staying up. Appreciate it. I mean,
so thank you, guys. We appreciate you hanging with us. Our brother Scott says, thanks for the show, Joe and Coach. Great insights and laughs thrown in for free. Peace out from Thailand. Thank you so much for joining us. I think it's 12 hours ahead where you are? It's actually noon over there. Thank you.
Thailand.
Yeah, Thailand.
Shit.
Yeah. Thank you for being with us, Scott. We appreciate it, my friend. Also, Mr. Frank Bay says, thank you, Coach and Joe. Thank you for spending time with us. So, Coach, you have any parting shots for our listening audience, sir?
No, just tune into the fights. I think that Dog Bay and Joette Gonzalez is under the radar. I think it's a TV-made fight to be a war. Yeah.
It's going to be great, guys. It's going to be great. But that's going to just about do it. We're going to leave you with some welcome back, Cotter. So, guys, on behalf of the 5-decade fight trainer, James Gogue, I'm Joseph Herron. You've been listening to War Week Radio. Have a great Thursday, everybody.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. Back here where we need ya. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome